What is going on? How we all doing? A rare weekend stream. It's currently 12 p.m. Saturday here in Australia. And guess what? My app Ace is finally live. About freaking time. Let's go. We got a deal right now for the early birds that want to test Ace out and be one of the first people to try it out. We're doing a 30% off for life launch special. Just use code DOOBY at checkout. And yeah, excited to say that the project is finally out. But hey, don't get it twisted. We are far from over, all right? Just because the project is out doesn't mean we're chilling, all right? Doesn't mean we're chilling out. There's a lot to do. If anything, there's even more to do now because I've got people actually testing the app. I've got people sending me feedback. And we also last minute included a Windows version as well. So if you're on Windows, you can now use the app. We need to do some work on the Windows setup. But yeah, it's good to know that we finally got this live. Like I was like, are we ever gonna get the app live in time? But here we are. We are just getting started. If you look at our checklist, we went through so many things to get this live. And I'm really happy that we did this checklist now because it reduced a lot of scope creep, which I was kind of noticing. As you can see in the future updates, the amount of scope that came up. But yeah, I think today what I kind of want to do is I want to just get into the nitty gritty, try and break the app a little bit and do a bit of debugging. I've been getting a lot of user feedback, so potentially building on top of that as well. But yeah, I'm super stoked to get into it. Let me just chuck some music on. Bit of a chill live stream today. Hope you guys don't mind. It is a weekend over here. I've just finished playing badminton. I don't know if you guys enjoy playing badminton at all, but I've been playing badminton on the weekends, and man, it gets you tired after a session. So I'm super fresh right now. I was like, you know what? Let's live stream. The app's out. Like, we got to lock in, gang. So that's what we're doing. We're locking in on a Saturday. All right. So I hope some of you guys are locking in with me. We're going to push through together. If you're sitting on the couch right now, if you're watching from your mobile device, consider like, okay, while I'm watching, maybe I can do some work, you know, let's be productive. Let's actually make this Saturday, a good Saturday, you know, and then and then you feel like you've earned your weekend. You know what I mean? You do a little bit of work and then you feel like, you know what? I can relax. I can be a bit of a lazy guy for the rest of the week. But yeah, let's get into it. So this is Ace, of course, for those that don't know. Link in the description if you want to try it out for yourself. Man, I'm a walking salesman right now. I'm like a walking billboard. Like, link in the description. Buy it from over here. Go over there. This is not the normal doobs. But yeah, check it out. Put a lot of work in. I'm always so like amazed at how nice it looks. Like I'm so happy with myself with the design. Like it looks so clean, man. Like look at it. But today I want to break it. So I'm going to open up Conductor. And we're actually in the middle of building this agent harness because I actually came to the realization that, you know what? Up until this point, we've been eyeballing everything. Like if we improve the agent output, we don't fully know. Like it's not written on paper. We're just eyeballing everything. Everything's being kind of just like tested just from looking at if the design's good or not. So this is the first time that I want to try and get into building our own bench called Ace Bench. And that way we will have a clear path to improve Ace because we're going to have this kind of, like there's not going to be any variables. We're going to have this test that we run every time we do an update on Ace. And that's going to tell us, has the output improved? Has it decreased? And that's going to let us know like, okay, cool, we should do more of this, etc. I think it's going to be a huge, huge pro to Ace. So I'm kind of just going through it right now. A is the low regret move. I installed G-Stack for the first time. I don't know if you guys know what G-Stack is, but It's made by one of the chairmen of YC Combinator. So what we can start doing is, let's get rid of some of these agents. Dev is still open. Dev has the same bug. Alpha, what's going on, bro? Welcome. Fix. Let me just check the GitHub repo real quick. Man, I've been learning so much about GitHub ever since I launched this. Why such a late stream today? Haha. I mean, I usually don't stream on a Saturday, but I was like, you know what? We've just launched Ace. Like, let's give it a go. So, yeah, definitely a bit off the schedule today, but why not? 3 commits behind main. Just trying to see, do we fix board, run, crash, server thrown at the... Okay, this is... Merge to dev. Did this work? Ship to dev, automatic model failover. Okay, merge to main. Release 30%. This is regarding the promo. We can kind of leave that for now. Yeah, that looks pretty perfect. Let's go ahead and push PR to dev. Okay, we can get rid of that. 30% off. Which one is... Okay, we can get rid of this. All right, we're left with these. Ace bench harness. Understandable. How you doing? I'm doing good, bro. I'm doing good. It's nice to see that the revenue counter has finally gone up. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's gone up a few $100s. We had some people signing up yesterday after we launched the app. So, hey, all I'm saying is check the revenue counter, man. We up a few hundred. Now, the goal is to get out of the 40K zone because, man, we've been in 47 for such a long time. If we can hit 48, that's nice. It's a new number. But if we can hit 50, like that's a new plane, man. That's a new way of thinking, bro. It's a new mental state when you hit 50, bro. All right, so I did notice a few things while I was working on Ace yesterday. I'm gonna go to GPT extra high. Let me just change my whisper flow over to my mic. Always goes to my headphones for some reason. Testing. All right, cool. Yeah, we good. All right. One thing I noticed is the names are auto-generated for each AI agent. However, sometimes because there's a lot of components, you just want to copy paste a pre-existing element and that ends up just copy pasting the name as well. And there's no way to actually change the name. So if I copy paste the same AI agent setup 6 times because I want to build out a team, I find that they're all named the same thing. And so it would be nice if the name changed when you copy pasted an AI agent. Merge to main, nothing to merge. All right, cool. We can close that. Harness scoring TS. What's going on? Failure modes from the test diagram. Task T3. T3. Launch A plus B plus C in parallel, work trees, merge, then T7 compare, T8 report. Which way to build, run, ship. When PO says which way to build, run ship per phase, want me to also drop the context plan in the repo? So for those that are just joining in, we're building the harness repo right now. Hi, what are you building? Which tools you use? Which models? What up, Alex? How we doing? A lot of questions. I'm doing good, Alpha. Thanks for asking. I'm using Conductor. We're building Ace, and I'm using Claude and Codex. Complete. Launch A plus B plus C in parallel work trees, merge, then. Okay. Implementation tasks. Okay, cool. 1 to do for your call. To do 1, file the harness call redundancy note for the ACE team. What harness call was 2 planners. Classify workflow type and derivative gates with different vocabularies. Why it's duplicated classification logic that can disagree. Whichever the ACE app uses, the divergence is a latent bug and a foot gun for anyone authoring missions. Options: A, add to to-dos and file a note for the ACE team. B, skip, not worth it. C, I dig into which planner ACE actually uses first. Hey there, finally caught a stream. What up? Wanted to ask where you deployed Ace. It's in the link in description. You just download it. It's an app that you just download to your Mac or your Windows, and it just it uses your own local to run it. One of my friends is currently getting Claude to remake G Visor. He's so far drained 2 weekly limits for 2 Claude Max 20Xs and 1 GPT Max. Damn. Or whatever it's called, lol. It's been running for 4 days now. God damn it. What are the best practices you stick to? Usually having one AI agent. This is the one thing that I love doing, is having one AI agent build out the code, whether it's Claude or Codex. And then you have the other one review the code, which is the opposite of what you just used. If you use Claude to build the code, you use Codex to review the code. And I noticed this combination is elite, man. Like you very rarely have bugs and issues. 2 open threads you can close anytime. I can run /plan and review again on just the chosen branch, or jump to implementation. Let's jump to implementation. Cool. Let's go. Wait, I'm confused because I'm pretty sure Australia is kind of in the future, right? So if it's Saturday for me, it must be Friday for you guys, right? So you guys just finishing up your working week? Is that right? What are the weekend plans? You guys locking in? One thing I want to review is we have this fully hardened artifact and system when people go to build a team. But when you start from scratch, we don't have that. And I noticed that at times this can actually make the output really bad quality, because I think the user can get confused. Not the user, the app. I think the app can get confused. And I think in this case, when it's a open board, we just let the user have full kind of freedom. If they want to create an app, they create an app. If they want to write a document, they write a document. And I don't know, I just think there's a bit of confusion there because the app doesn't really get to decide before the board is created. There needs to be this sort of improvement that happens once the user sends that first prompt. And I think a part of that decision is okay for the AI agents involved in the project to come up with what the final output needs to look like, right? And as long as the agents have the system prompts and understanding of the app and how to use it, then they can pick themselves what lever needs to be pulled. I'm saying this because I created a fresh board rather than going through the team, and I just wanted to create a PRD document. And what ended up coming out was a local hosted website with a bunch of text on it. And it just felt like overkill. Like I could totally just have a document, like a PDF or a .md. And it was such a simple mistake that I know that any AI agent in the workflow would have had the understanding to make a document. We just need to kind of trust and give them more kind of capabilities. Can you review if the agents have a sort of system prompt in the background that tells them what ACE is and how to use it? What I mean is where you deployed your website, sorry. I deployed it on Cloudflare. Always locked in, not only weekends. Yes, sir. Let's go, Omero. Good to see you, bro. What do you think about Hermes, Goose, Kilo Code? Goose? I haven't heard about Goose before. Fan of Hermes. Haven't really looked into Kilo Code that much. Jmart, how we doing? Yay, planning on buying Max Plan this week. Let's go. Hey, Synatic, what's up? Everyone say hi to Synatic. He's the editor for the channel. He helps edit some of the videos. So shout out Synatic. Jmart saying we need internal MCP. Is that so the agents can utilize the app better? Jmart? This is going to be a game changer for uni. What up, Sylv? How we doing? Also, give me feedback, bro. Sylv recently bought the app. Waiting to hear from him. Have you used it yet, Sylv? I should probably go on the dev. In a sport, editable agents paste now assigns unique numeric names like Claude 2, Planner 2, while preserving the copied agent setup. Just confirming, because the names are never Claude 2, Planner 2, Planner 3. They're like fun names like Lulu or Bob or Fred. Does the same logic apply for this? Haven't properly used it yet, but looking to this weekend. I woke up for Australia versus USA, and bro, it was not worth it. Did Australia lose? Don't tell me Australia lost, bro. More or less, yeah. Like, does your app essentially have a harness, or are the agents coming in blind? Just answer prompts. Yeah, we do have a harness that we're building. And so part of what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to build a bench so we can actually test the harness And every time we make an adjustment, we can actually see, like, did that make an improvement to the harness or not? Are the scores looking better? And that'll help us kind of move really quickly, because we'll instantly know if something we did improved or not. Right now, we're just eyeballing everything. Like, it's really hard to have a definitive answer on whether or not this output from this AI agent team has improved or not, just from eyeballing it, right? So you kind of need this system in place to qualify and verify the quality of these outputs for you. And that way you're going to be able to see, like, oh, there's a 3% increase in reasoning and a 5% increase in UI design and aesthetic, and how aesthetic the app is. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this will kind of help us understand, like, okay, cool, we're making improvements. So yeah, looking to kind of build this ACE bench thingy. But that's a good point that you bring up. Jmart. The agents understand ACE in their role layer, but fresh boards are missing a strong output format decision layer. The likely fix is to extend the planner mission contract taxonomy with a document deliverables such as PRD document markdown. Explicit rules like for PRDs. I'm wondering if we were to incorporate a internal MCP that the AI agents are automatically connected to, and this helps them understand and create functionality inside of the app more precisely and better. What are your thoughts on this? Vince, Doobie Booby, you have some bugsies in your appies. Yes, I have a bunch of them. I need a fix. If you got any feedback, let me know. Oh yeah, you were telling me about the website actually. The website is not mobile optimized at all. So when you go to look at it from a mobile screen, it looks really bad. Can we just optimize the website for mobile? Open it up in localhost first for me to verify how it looks, and we can go from there. I should probably say, once optimized, open it up in localhost and we can verify how it looks. And if everything checks out, we can push it live. Including a full paywall bypass. Damn. Yo, Vince, bro, I gotta bring you on the team. You gonna send me, where you sending me all this information, bro? You gotta chuck it in the DMs, bro. Dude, if anyone can get through my app, it's definitely Vince, man. I don't know if anyone in the chat was here when I launched Moltboard, but Vince came in with an army of 100,000 bots and just completely dominated the entire thing. I was doing like a $500 prize pool. Man. Vince on another level with that shit. Yeah, waiting for that DM, bro. Where's the DM at? Or chuck it in feedback if you want. Yeah, chuck it in here. Screenshots are helpful. Please send it, bro. Cheers. Please send it through, Vince. Including a prompt on how to fix it, that would be exceptional. I was talking to a medical clinic owner the other day about AI adoption. He was keen for me to show him some things that could optimize everyday operations. Have you thought of doing a referral system? That's not a bad idea for ACE. I think I can get a good number of people on board. Yo, that's not a bad idea. A referral system. Let me write that in updates. I'm kind of treating this as like a super like beta kind of launch, because there's a lot I want to improve about the app. Like the app is nowhere near where I want it to be, but it's good enough to get started. And it's good enough to be usable and useful for some people. But the goal is to really create something competitive on the market, you know? Like I want to have a bench and Ace is actually performing in terms of harness options out in the market. P1 done and verified. Reran the build myself, not trusting the agent's report. Gate PO, P23, P3 are correctly blocked. Want me to commit P1 and which PO path do you want to take? I'll leave your best judgment on what to do and on moving forward. Mainly because I have no idea how to build a bench. So review Ace agent prompts. So yes, I think this is the right direction, but I would use it as a narrow Ace capability layer, not as a giant hidden prompt. The key value is that agents should not have to infer what Ace can do from pros. They should be able to ask Ace directly what output types are supported. Does this prompt imply? Should this become a document app? How do a useful internal MCP could expose tools like that would directly address the failure you saw. The first prompt could become main caution. Don't make the MCP broad at first. If it exposes too many vague powers, agents will misuse it. Start with deterministic schema-driven tools around deliverables. My recommendation, build this as Ace internal tools first, then wire it through MCP where each runner supports it cleanly. The product win is not MCP itself. It is giving every agent a reliable app native API instead of asking them to hallucinate how Ace works from the background text. All right. Your goal is to think of what we could provide along this conversation internally, whether it's an MCP or API access for our agents to understand capabilities of the app rather than hallucinating them. And this should give a much cleaner user experience, because if the agents know all the app capabilities, then we are going to be able to actually expand the tasks that we can give these agent teams because they fully understand their environment. So let's do a deep dive and plan out what needs to happen. That was such a bad prompt, man. Vibe coding on the weekends is, I'm not in tip-top shape, guys. All right, don't judge me, yeah? I like the idea of reducing the scope and providing just like the most useful internal MCP tools that we could expose. Things like ace.get_context, ace.classify_deliverable, ace.created_board_plan, ace.create_document. Things that would directly address common failures in the app. So the plan is to come up with V1. What is the best V1 that we can create safely and start using with a high success rate? Man, that was a really bad prompt. I feel embarrassed that you guys had to watch me say that prompt. That's how I know I'm out of it. When I can't like bring my words together, I just have to read off of like the output and just be like, oh yeah, could you do this and then do this and then do this? And it's like, bro, my brain's not functioning right now. AI is having to think for me. What are the benchmarks? So benchmarks are basically a tool that we can use to judge ACE's output and kind of go from there. Hi Doobie, I'm currently trying to use ACE. I think the UI is a bit complicated since I don't know the app beforehand. It looks a bit complex to me, just a feedback. Have you gone through the onboarding? MetaHand? Good to see that you're trying out the app as well. Please provide any feedback. The UI is a bit complicated, so that's a fair take. I'm just wondering, like, did it walk you through the onboarding? In settings, you've got replay onboarding or tool setup guide, and these can kind of help walk through the app a little bit more. Yeah, we out here grinding. We grinding hard. For V1, what should be the primary integration service for these ACE capabilities? ACE API first, recommended. Implement typed internal capability functions used by ACE orchestration with an MCP wrapper later or in parallel. Okay, we'll go to ACE API. How much agent write capability should V1 expose? Documents only, read only, contract only. Allow safe markdown, document artifact creation and registration, but no arbitrary app project mutation. Okay, sure. Where should V1 be active first? Target the current failure mode. First prompt on blank canvas chooses the right deliverable in board. Okay, sure, done. Are you using ACE to make ACE? That is the goal. That's what we're trying to get to. Right now, we're not there yet. But the goal, and I think how we achieve that is if we have ACE bench, then we actually have something to mark the quality of the output for the agents, right? And once we have that, we can actually start running more autonomous loops. And so that's where ACE can come in, because we can be like, look, your goal is to create, is to improve the app and score higher in this bench. And then once we have that loop running, we can assess, you know, rather than kind of a human being in the loop and seeing like, oh, actually, and by eyeballing and being like, oh, maybe that's not it. We can actually assess based off of the bench, like, oh, this is actually not improving the app. So let's revert our changes. Oh, this actually improved the app by a little bit, but it kind of failed in this area. Let's work on that. And that's how we can kind of create a more safe loop. Right now, I don't really want to do that. Like where ACE is the foundation. It's at a level where, you know, you can do things, but it's not advanced enough yet for me to use it to build itself. And that's kind of the plan over the next 30 days, is to get it to that level. Consider this as like a beta launch. ACE internal capability tools, V1. But the main gap that we're covering with ACE is the capability of being able to, because everyone has multiple AI subscriptions. Like everyone just does. You can't not in this market, right? It's too competitive. So the gap that we're trying to fill is by creating an environment where you can actually have your multiple AI agents talk to one another. You know, you can have your Claude subscription and your Codex subscription being used at the same time. Like that's the kind of gap that I want to stick to and I want to cover. And that's kind of the pain point that I'm trying to blend into. One big thing I kind of realized, I was talking to my friends, and I was talking to my brother actually, and he was kind of telling me like, dude, you launched and you didn't even mention any pain point in your launch video. And I was like, bro, you're so right. Like people spend money on their pains, you know? So the fact that I launched the video and I didn't mention a single pain point, I didn't mention anything. It was like, it was kind of dumb if you look at the video. So yeah, I guess that's what happens when you rush the launch a little bit. But at the end of the day, I would have been stuck never launching anything if I just kept thinking about that. So I'm happy that I launched, and now the ball is rolling. You know what I mean? That's what we were trying to do, and that's what's happened. Build an ACE native capability layer first, not provider native behavior. Create a PID document should classify So if we add negative constraints, do not build a website, do not create, oh yeah, approve. Chat, have y'all ever used local LLMs? If so, what's your experience with them? That's the other thing as well. I want to add local LLMs to Ace. I want to add more LLMs. So API is more expensive than subscription. How to integrate multi-providers. Because it's downloaded to your device, you do not spend on API fees. You just connect your subscription. Vibecode with Maha. So that's the whole point. Like everyone's kind of like, oh, but it's bring your own keys. And I'm like, well, if it wasn't bring your own keys, then you'd actually have to pay even more because it's way more expensive for me to have to provide the keys because I'm paying API bills. But if you provide the keys, then you're only paying for your subscription bills and it's way cheaper. Don't add local LLMs. Most people, no, I'm gonna add a option to add local LLMs, and the people who can run them. And I think this will be really important as if Fable does ever come out, like I want Ace to allow for orchestration. So you can have Fable kind of coming up with a plan, and then you can have local LLMs that actually execute on the plan. And being able to do this for someone who's non-technical and can't just like build it themselves, Ace can handle that, the logic and infrastructure. Like Ace is meant to be this elastic, malleable thing. Like it's not a black box. You can do a lot with it. Both committed and independently verified. Here's where things stand. Let's authorize the entry point and continue with your recommendations. I think it could be cool, yeah, because right now we have this Olama version, and I think what could be nice is if we were able to like maybe guide the user to using a local model, you know, maybe it like scans their machine and is able to verify like, oh, this is going to handle Gemma 4. It's the only local model that I know. I have somewhat built a frame for my local job hunt app. It uses a local Quen 3.8b model and compares via APIs with Llama, Gemini, Flash, and DeepSeek. It gets like 50-60% of the job listings right. Okay, that's pretty high. That's pretty high. Have you verified if you were to do the same job listings through Claude or Codex, if that percentage is higher? Or is that just the hit rate? Man, it's actually my birthday weekend as well, so that's how you know I'm locking in right now. So tomorrow is officially my birthday. I will be turning 25. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that actually insane? All right, let me try. If I was to bring in a pre-existing GitHub repository, what's something that I have? I have this usage limit reducer, which is open. My most starred GitHub repo, by the way, 186 stars. Can anyone in the chat beat that? If I'm being completely honest with you, I need to verify this feature works. Just call it usage reducer. app. Inside of ace.dev, I created usage reducer app. With a GitHub repo connected. Can you verify if the Git repo is actually connected? And if a change would actually affect. Thanks, bro. Thanks, Algo. Can you verify if the repo is actually connected? And what is the extent of its connection? Would an agent understand context from the repo? Would the user be able to ask questions to the agent about the repo and it would understand? Could the agent add a feature and then merge it to that repo? Checking DMs. Thanks for the birthday wishes, guys. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Tomorrow is my birthday. I will officially be turning 25. One sec. Just need to do something with the GitHub repository. Yo, Vince, you're in. When Fable 5 coming back? Bro, you think I'm like some like fortune teller. Like I'm just gonna know, like, oh bro, Fable 5 is going to come back 2 days from now. Bro, there's so many freaking cappers on X right now. They're like, yeah, I just spoke to my officials. I just got the leak. Fable 5 is gonna come back in 12 hours. And you can see there's so many freaking LARPers trying to call when Fable 5 is gonna come back. And I'm just like, bro, you have no idea, man. Congrats for your app. I'll be honest, if it is cheaper or equal than Windsurf, which I am used to, I'll use it instead. I mean, I don't know how much Windsurf is. How much is Windsurf? But that's the thing, man. I'm not looking to be the cheapest alternative. I'm not looking to win people's hearts by being the most affordable app in the world. I'm just looking to build a good app, and I want people to pay for the app because they think it's good. Like that's all I'm trying to achieve here. I'm not trying to skim a couple cents off, skim a couple dollars off, and be like $1.50 cheaper than Windsurf. Like I'm just looking to build an app that's actually useful that people want to pay for. At the end of the day, that's the goal. Sebas, how we doing? $20? Okay, the app's $15 at the moment. Have y'all tried GLM 5.2? Heard that it's similar to Opus 4.8 and open source. I kind of want to try it. Yo, Vince, you on GLM? In what circumstances do you use Hermes Agent? Is it useful? I use it mainly to check my emails because I get a lot of sponsorship emails and a lot of them are kind of like fluffy. Like some of them are real, some of them aren't. So I use it to kind of be my first layer of filtering. It's honestly a really basic use case. I'm kind of underusing it. You can like set it up in like 30 minutes. GLM is it's okay. Why is everyone so hyped about it, Vince? Yo, Doobie, give me a TLDR on Ace. Is it like Cursor? Ace is kind of in its own market only because the whole point of Ace and the gap that I see in the market is right now you have agent environments like Conductor or Cursor where you can prompt two different models, right? You can prompt Claude and you can prompt Codex, but you can't actually have them talk to each other, not in the same chat. So the whole concept and gap that I'm trying to fill with Ace is to be able to have agents collaborate with one another. And of course, like anyone and everyone can do this if you want to go out and build it yourself, but you're going into agent harness territory. And so the concept now, and I'm only realizing I'm going into agent harness territory once I actually built this app, but it's kind of fun because I live stream all the time. I'm seeing on Twitter what people are talking about. Like people are talking about loops right now. I was able to implement a loop pretty quickly. You can see it's right here. But I'm excited to actually get in the game and get into this free market competition where people are looking at harnesses. People are looking at, Warhammer harness or whatever it's called is currently the best harness right now. Apparently the Claude Code app is actually not a very good harness for their own agent. So I'm looking to get into making my own harness. We've already started. It's okay. And just creating something that people can actually be like, damn, they see it on a benchmark and they're like, damn, Ace is like a 57. Cursor is only 53. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to be competitive right now. And Ace's key differentiator from everything else is the fact that you can have AI agents autonomously talk to each other and collaborate so you can build cool things. Like, okay, maybe you don't want to give a handoff. Maybe you just want to review. Maybe you just want to, maybe it is a handoff. But what's really handy is you can easily just add things to the canvas. Like for example, I'm doing this live stream right now. Maybe I want to add my live stream as context. So I literally just paste in the URL. And now I have my live stream as context. And I can literally just connect my live stream hook it up to the agent. And now it has the context of my live stream and it has all the transcription from my live stream. Now, I don't know if YouTube transcribes the live streams that quickly, so it might not even work, but it works for most YouTube videos if they've been out for longer than a day. You can do this with articles. You can do this with Twitter posts. You can do this with, you can even like just do a voice recording and just talk for 5 minutes. And then that's the context. And you can just connect that, hook that up to an agent. And now it has that as context. But the whole reason that Ace started in the first place was because I really didn't like the manual process of creating a product requirements document and having Claude and Codex talk to each other. So now, just from literally 3 clicks, you can autonomously delegate that task to Claude and Codex, and they will talk to each other and create that product requirements document and, you know, poke holes in it and spit out an output that is actually usable. Like, for example, when I first started YouTube, I'll give you an example. When I first started YouTube, I was looking at how much I could charge for my sponsorships, because no one actually talks about that online. You don't actually know how much a creator is charging for sponsorships because it's never vocalized, right? And so I'm asking ChatGPT, I'm asking Claude, and I'm asking Gemini, and they all have a different output. They're all like, yeah, you could charge $1,000 is what Claude's saying. ChatGPT's on the other end. They're like, you could charge $5,000. Gemini is like, you could charge $3,000. And it's like, what the hell's right? And so you end up doing the average, and it ended up being like 3,000. And it's just like, agents have biases. And the more agents that you can kind of get together to poke holes in each other's arguments, you can actually, you know, create a source of truth that is closer to the actual realistic truth. So why GPT-5 for YouTube research? I was just using that as an example. Like, I was just trying to showcase the feature. But yeah, this is Ace. And so currently we're doing a 30% off for life deal right now. So if you lock it in the next 30 hours, you are getting 30% off for life. You're never going to pay the full price ever. It's literally as low as $5 a month right now. It's really cheap. I just wanted to provide this offer because I really want a lot of feedback coming in. And so in return, if you use the app, please provide me as much feedback as possible, because, you know, I'm looking to improve the app as much as possible and really make this something that people are using as their daily driver. That's the goal, you know? And I'll be honest, it's not 100% there yet. Like, I'm not going to lie to you and say the app's perfect, but it's come a long way, and it's definitely something that I've been using, and I'm looking to use it more and more. And I think as I keep live streaming, you guys are going to see me use Ace and slowly switch over to Ace over Conductor. And yeah, just like Vince and someone else in the chat was talking about, the moment that Ace starts building Ace, it's game over. Like, it's completely game over, because then I'm just chilling and you guys are going to be able to see the capabilities, and we're all cheering. And yeah, I just want to build a fun tool that we can all use to improve our AI output. And that's just the goal. If I can achieve that goal, I'm happy. So yeah, any and all feedback is welcome. I'm never going to be like, ew, this guy doesn't like my app. Oh, I'm angry now. Nah, if you think the app's shit, tell me that it's shit. If you're having bugs and problems, like, don't feel like you're fudding me or anything. Like, the only way that we're ever going to improve is if you tell me and break it with me. True, which makes it hard to see what's right. This is fire. Thanks, Locker Bro. Hey, haven't seen you in a while, man. I hope you're doing well. Oh shit, just in time for a sales pitch. Dude, a live stream might be just what I need right now. Aw, Slyphorn, what's going on? You having a bad day or something? So do be honest take. I want to start getting into, I guess, the next step. I literally just downloaded Cursor, but don't know to either use Cursor, Conductor, or Ace. I don't know. Look, if you're getting started out for the very first time, I wouldn't even recommend using any of those tools. I'd recommend using something like Replit or Lovable, because it literally just handles everything for you. Like, if you don't know how to, this is my sales, by the way. We're at 432 gross volume, 122 MRR. A lot of people have been doing the annual plan, which is cool. But yeah, shout out these guys. But yeah, I'd recommend doing something that does the hosting for you. Can you use skills MCPs within Ace? That is a fantastic question. Not yet. You can see right here, it's literally at the top of my list for future updates. And we're going to be moving really quickly with Ace. So expect like a lot of these features to come in quite quick. But no, you can't use skills as of yet. But the concept is you're going to be able to have a thing called a connector. And that connector is going to give you access to, literally just attaching a GitHub repo link or a skill or something like that to further add context to the agent, kind of like how I did with the blocks over here. And it will literally just be something you can attach like that, and it's like, okay, cool, that agent now has that skill. I think what could also be cool is like having actions. So you can see we've kind of already started. You've got an email and a save.md action. And this is just something that like once Ace has like something to say, like maybe it's generated a script, you can have it send you an email. And every morning at like 5 a.m., just before you wake up, you can have it send you an email about what's happened in AI for the last 24 hours. So yeah, we're looking to improve really fast. So yeah, if you're looking to help me out, download the app and give me feedback, man. No, I just want a bit of a rest day. Been a biggish week. Could have been bigger, but I still grew a lot, and that's what counts. Hey, Slyphorn, loving that, bro. As long as you're moving. The next step is all that matters, man. The next step. So right now, in terms of improving Ace, we're currently building a benchmark that we can kind of test Ace on. And this will give us a clearer understanding of if the thing that we did improves or not. Because we could do something and it actually makes the overall output and agent harness worse, right? An agent harness is just how an agent is able to create an agent harness. I would describe as basically how well an agent works inside of an environment in its simplest form. So agent harness could be Hermes Agent. It could be, which is a really good harness. That's why everyone loves it, because of its flexibility. Another one could be like Conductor is a harness. You've got Claude Code, the app itself is a harness. Everything is a harness. And whatever you use your agent inside of is a harness. And so it's like, how can we improve that harness? Because the better that harness is, the better the agents can work and the better the output will be. That's basically the end. So yeah, we're looking to create a system where the harness is constantly being improved, and we're not just eyeballing it. We're actually measuring it with numbers and seeing the percentages and how much it's improved or regressed. Like, that's what we're aiming for. So one of the main reasons and one of the main methods we plan to do that is by creating an Ace internal capability tools. This is actually an internal API that gives the agents access and understanding of Ace. And that way it's going to have a better understanding of calling tools and what the capabilities are inside of the environment. And this will actually give it better outputs and what it should be aiming for. Okay, so test plan, this went for 22 minutes. Let's actually get it reviewed. We just hit GPT 5.5 extra high on /goal mode. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get Claude Opus 4.8 on Ultra code to spin up a bunch of sub-agents and review that code, okay? Because this is a pretty big feature, right? Being able to create an internal API. Actually, I don't even know if it's a big feature. This is just the first time that I've ever tried it. So I'm just assuming it's a big feature, but maybe it's easy. I don't know. Thanks. I'm trying not to like make it a big deal, but I'll tell you right now, I was mad nervous yesterday because it was kind of like I gave myself one day to plan this launch. And in my head, I was like, oh yeah, that's all I need, right? I just got to record a video. And then I was kind of doing the checklist, which you can see over here, by the way. This is the checklist for the launch, right? Let me show you. And then I started writing everything down and I was like, hang on a second, that's actually quite a lot for one day. Demo video. A video alone takes like literally 2 days for me to film and then edit. So that's why you saw the video launch was like really small. A demo video. I had to come up with the script. I then have to record it. I then have to edit it. I got to do the intro. And then I'm talking about like the features that I want to add, and I got to make sure everything works. And then on top of that, I got to do a YouTube post, a Discord post, a school post, 3 separate announcements, man. Like that's actually quite a lot of work. Email list. Up until I've never sent an email list before in my life. So I had to learn about email lists and how to send an email to 1,000 people without it going into your spam box. And so I'm here like spending the first 5 hours of the day just trying to figure out how to send an email list. And like, I remember I had this really neat email planned out. Like, let me show you. Dude, it looked so freaking clean, guys. You guys would see this email and you're like, damn, if this went in my inbox, I would actually be like mad impressed. But turns out that that Google actually saw the email and was like instant spam, because apparently there was like way too many like pictures and stuff like that. Apparently like something to do with that. Look how clean this email looks, right? You got the Ace card, Ace is live. You got the 30% off. It shows the 48-hour counter. It shows a screenshot of the Ace app, shows the 3 models. Like I was just like, this is such a clean email. Like if I got sent this email, I'd be so happy. And then I went to test it out and I sent the email to myself a bunch of times, right? Like, dude, let me show you how many times I sent this email. I literally sent myself so many freaking emails. It's crazy. Look at this. Email, test. You go into promotions. Look at how many emails I got sent. So many emails. I even got sent a few in spam, bro. Like, it's crazy how many times. And so look how many versions I had to create. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, until we finally landed on this, which doesn't look like much, but turns out you have to actually host the images yourself. So now I'm just going through the layers of like how to freaking send an email to an email list of like 1,000 people. And it's like, you got to host the images yourself. Okay, how do I host an image? Got to do that. All right, Ace is live. I've literally stripped everything away to the point where it doesn't look anything like the original design. And it was so annoying, right? And then I haven't even done this yet because it was just too much work. But TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram. It was actually a last minute decision to do the 30% off offer because I was like, we got to make the launch special somehow. So let's do like a discount. And man, yesterday was like a 15-hour day. It was cooked, man. I was literally just working nonstop. But yeah, we're here now and we're live, and there's a little bit of weight off my shoulders because I'm like, yo, the app's live. Now we can just lock in and make the app look really good. You know what I mean? As I like your honesty, could it be possible to have the agents telling you if the project is too ambitious or give an estimate time of development? Could it be possible to have the agents tell? Yeah, I think that is definitely a feature that has been mentioned actually. Someone was talking about how to include like token estimate costs. Because like if you're running an operation of like 10 AI agents, for example, then you're going to want to know like, okay, the output might not be what I want. What is the expected cost of the tokens so I can choose whether or not to like risk that token? You know what I mean? Risk 1 million tokens. So yeah, token estimates. It's kind of what you're talking about, right? Simbo? Like if you had token estimates, it kind of gives you an idea, like a rough idea. Claude CLI keeps failing the auth. It gives warnings and the error messages are not visible, I guess. Also show in chat button doesn't work. I don't know. Which show in chat? Where's the show in chat button? This button. Are you in the Discord? Meta hand? Yo, let me add the Discord link to the bio, to the description. But basically there's a section in the Discord where you can just like mention the bug, and if a screenshot would be really helpful because then I have something to work with and I can just feed it to the AI. Because right now, like I can't really just tell the AI like, oh, the Claude CLI doesn't work. because it's just not going to know where to look because it works for me. So yeah, let me chuck that in. I've just added hold on one second. Discord link is being updated in the bio right now. It's at the very bottom. You might need a refresh in 10 seconds. I haven't saved it yet. Okay, Discord is in the description at the bottom of the description. Meta, please join. You can choose to either DM me or you can choose to... Oh yeah, that's a good point. Watch the 60-second demo. I actually completely forgot about that button. I'm just trying to think what I could probably link it to. Probably link it to the video, the YouTube video. All right. Yeah, let's do that. Thanks for the update, Algo. That's a good shout. Completely forgot about that. Build with Ace AI. This one, right? Watch the 60-second demo. All right, let me just copy this. Can we make it right now? This button doesn't do anything. Can we make it that when a user clicks this button, a video actually pops out in front of the website, like overlaying on top of the website, and the video that it shows is this one right here. Where is it? This one. Update to a local host first for me to eyeball, and then based off of how it looks on localhost, we can choose to merge to main. Yo, so Meta, you're saying that I need like to do a better onboarding job, because clearly like there's a gap between you and how to use the app, right? Am I right? So I need to do a better job on the onboarding. You're saying the Claude CLI isn't working. I'm gonna have to set that up as well. Meta Handberg, what's your like vibe coding kind of? If you're on a spectrum, would you consider yourself a beginner, intermediate, advanced? Like where would you put yourself? I'm just trying to gauge. I'm just trying to gauge if the onboarding was like not good enough. Because you can kind of go in here and it usually gives you 3 options, right? Where's somewhere that might do this? Probably not even here. What's one? Maybe email sender? Not even here. I was trying to show an example, but the image uploader uploaded in the prompt could have a miniature, would be awesome. Intermediate, I think. I just code in VS Code and use Codex and Claude code from there. Okay, so you should totally get Ace then. So the onboarding needs improvement. Okay, noted. Did you walk through the replay onboarding, this one?
Hey, welcome to Ace. To get started, go ahead and click New Project.
Put a lot of time into that. But yeah, I guess it only really shows you one avenue of the board. The next onboarding could be like actually using the canvas, right? The image uploaded in the prompt could have a miniature, would be awesome. What are you talking about? You mean like image uploaded to the prompt? Which one is this? Yes, genuinely connected and not a phantom connection. GitHub auth remote. This matters because Ace's connected badge is shallow. Internally, it only checks does a local extent of the connection. Cool. Your specific questions would an urgent agent. Yes. Could you ask the agent questions about the repo? Yes. Okay, so this is all good then. And genuinely connected. All right, cool. I mean, for me, it doesn't enough because I'm new to these kinds of coding. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Maybe what I can do is like create like almost like multiple videos just walking through the app. And if people want like a quick 5-minute video that they can watch to understand everything, they can just watch that video. I can totally do that. Mobile optimization done and verified. Localhost 3100. Let's have a look. Okay. The app does look better. That's definitely an improvement. 30% off. Yeah. Get Ace. Cool. Nice. It's definitely an improvement. Yeah, for sure. That's a huge improvement. Okay, I think huge improvement on the mobile optimization for the website. Just a few pointers. I think the agent model showcase of Claude, GPT, Gemini, instead of shown vertically, I think they could be shown horizontally and just 3 in a row. They don't need to be very big. People can instantly verify what they are. We can remove the border if it takes up too much space on the mobile version of the website. Can we use that same logic with the reviews? And so users can kind of either see a carousel that automatically swaps between them, or they're just lined up and, next to each other horizontally. Yeah, everything else looks pretty good. I think we can start there. Re-update localhost when done, and I can eyeball it. Doesn't enough because I'm new to these kind of, I'll get the app. You might get hundreds of reports from me by day in bad English. Was talking about the image you copy paste in the prompt for playing the video. Oh yeah, okay, good call. Because image.png, if I upload 4 of them, I want to be able to tell which one refer to what. Okay, that's fair. Hey Simbo bro, the more feedback, the better, man. With screenshots, yeah, I want screenshots. Like the app can only improve with feedback. Like I didn't even consider mobile websites because I'm just so locked in on using my computer. Vince messaged me and was like, yo, the mobile website looks dog shit. I was like, oh shit, true. People use mobile. So here we are updating the mobile website now. Investigation paid off twice. Let's get a review on this. Okay, cool. High severity. Okay, this is a big review. Nice. Let me review the review notes. Classify a branch ordering misroutes. Explicit build web prompts. I miss Fable, man. I'm looking at all these issues wrong with the feature I just added. I'm like, I miss Fable, bro. Overbroad, repair loop, materializes, duplicate, orphan markdown files, document content diverges from what the gate validates. Client open target detector hijacks non-document runs. Okay, document deliverables are pinned. The collision suffix test asserts. Okay, nice. Document patterns are too early and too broad. I'm going to make implementation web intent take precedence, then require document intent to be about producing a document rather than merely mentioning one. Good call. Should make the default branch dev so nobody accidentally commits to main. Okay, that's a good idea. Let me actually put that as a high priority. Make dev default branch. I'll have to send you my agent.md. Can you copy the agent.md workflow, as I've included some collaborators into the GitHub repo? So in order to copy the same flow as us, they have access to our agents.md. Note that I'm using Android. People complain about my websites on iOS and Safari. Man, see, I've got the opposite thing where I'm using it on iPhone. People complain on Android. So do be off topic, but how do you use AI now? For example, you have a business now. How would you utilize it with the goal of scaling your business, or even if you wanted to make a custom recipe? I think the way that I want to utilize AI is be less micromanaging of what's going on. So, for example, with the emails that I'm getting, Hermes just has full control over my emails and looks at them and is able to filter out emails, right? It's able to tell, like, okay, look up the company name, look up everything and be like, okay, cool. Let's avoid dealing with these guys. Like, I'm having to micromanage it less. The next thing would be the apps that I'm building. For example, Ace, I now have a system where Ace is just kind of improving itself, running these loops, and I'm able to come in and be like, okay, yep, look, this looks all right. Maybe we can tweak things here a little bit, tweak things there a little bit, but everything's looking good. And I'm kind of using AI in every aspect of my business. I've got it being used in finance. I've got it being used in the apps that I'm building. I've got it being used in the emails. I'm planning on using it for outreach with Reddit, and like being able to research Reddit and see if anyone has my pain points. I'm planning on using it for AI UGC and creating short form content. Like, AI is fully involved in my business, in every single aspect of it, actually. There's not a single section of my business that doesn't involve AI in some way. Even the thumbnails that I make for my YouTube videos, everything. Video pop-up button. The watch 60-second demo, it's localhost. Let's have a look. So we've just implemented a feature that makes the video pop up now when I press this button.
I've been vibe coding for over 70 days, poured hundreds.
And then you can just click out. Okay, perfect. That looks great. That's perfect. Let's merge to dev. Can we cap the expenses by project and go globally per month? No, you cannot. Are you saying like you only want certain projects to use a certain amount of tokens? Is that what you're trying to say? Right now, you kind of got to eyeball it a little bit, and it's like, okay, this can, let's do one run, and let's see like how many tokens that uses, and kind of go like that. I haven't been worrying too much about the tokens, and that's probably just because I'm on the 20x max plan for both. Hasn't bothered me too much, but I should be more cautious, and that's definitely one area that we can optimize in for sure. How should root Claude.md and agents.md share one workflow? Besides agents.md, which already covers Codex, which collaborative tools should get a matching config file pointing at the same workflow? MD is enough. Maybe there's a... Well, if I go into the settings and I go into... I should be able to... So you can see inside here, we've got agents.md, we've got claude.md, we've got design.md. So maybe we do have a Gemini. Actually, nah. We can just stick to agents.md. Do they have a GitHub? GitHub has email context todos.md. I think we could also have an additional todos.md, which could add tasks. So agents.md provides context on the overall workspace and workflow, but todos.md is all about tasks that need to be done. Definitely a feature we could add though, Simbo. Let's see if the new website's looking good. Give this a refresh. Nice, that's way better. Oh yeah, way better. Huge difference. Okay, cool. If I was to go into downloads, does that work? Yeah, downloads works. Docs working. Nice. Cool. All right, sweet. We can drop this. Looks good. Let's merge to dev. Also take note of this commit ID as we added an additional button to the website where the 60-second promo button now shows a YouTube video pop-up. Just make sure that everything works smoothly, nothing is conflicting. Hey, I'm really new to vibe coding scene. I watched a few of your videos, but most of them feel more so conceptual. I wanted to make a SaaS with a 3D modeling interface, which sends the design to a 3D printer. How can I get into vibe coding such websites? I usually just use anti-gravity with Opus. Yeah, that's more than enough, bro. That's literally more than enough. You could totally just use that's fine. Like that should be plenty. Sounds like you're on the right track, man. Where are you struggling with exactly? Nice, let's give another review. Who synthesizes the answer of the two agents? Yeah, that's a good question. So it'll be whoever's used first. So if you spawn Codex first, this will be like the person that actually comes up with the, like for example, if you were writing a document, Codex would be the agent that makes the document. And then if you were to connect a second agent, the second agent would be the one who actually pokes holes in that document. And I kind of want to create a harness future update where this actually changes based on the harness's own kind of thought process on which agent does a better job at creating X output. That's going to be like future harness updates. But right now it's just whichever agent you connect first. Good question, bro. Vibe code with Maha, providing some good questions. Maher. How do I pronounce your name, bro? Maher? Oh lol, alrighty. I just figured everyone was using all these complex applications or whatnot. I figured I was missing out on something, though thought it wouldn't hurt to ask. I mean, that's fair, bro. Everyone's always got like some crazy new complex algorithm that's running their entire 70 agent orchestration. But you don't need anything crazy, man. I built this with just Conductor and a Claude and a Codex subscription. We can actually remove the todos.md. I actually thought this was a different context thing. So we can remove that.
Have you ever wanted to start Vibecoding but thought it was too hard? Well, you're in the right.
Yo, if you're on edge about Ace, what are you waiting for, man? For the next 30 hours, you are going to get a 30% off discount for life if you use code DOOBY at checkout. You know, I'm working on this tool every day. It's only going to improve and get better and better. And, you know, if you want to join and get in at this rate, you're never going to ever pay the full price. So yeah, check it out if you haven't already. Link in description. Like, you see your boy is hustling right now, man. Like, come on, your boy is always hustling, bro. You're never looking at the live stream and thinking, damn, that boy ain't hustling. Also, does Ace support multi-languages? Should be easy, quite easy, if not. Yes, it does. It just uses, like, Claude and Codex both support multi-languages. Oh, you're talking about, like, their output? Is that what you're talking about? That's an interesting thought. I've never actually tried that. I'm wondering if you spoke to it in Spanish, if it should reply in Spanish, right? It's worth testing. But are you talking about the app's actual, like how it looks? Like, for example, this should be like in like Spanish or something. Locale. J-Mart saying the one word that he knows. Is what this would be referred to. No problem. Yeah, that's what this is, localization. Yeah, but you're saying local. You're saying the word local wrong, bro. Unless it's spelt differently in dev terminology. I thought that was you trying to be smart, bro. Should, yeah, even if sometimes it goes back to English, no idea why, but yeah, I talk about the app itself. We can totally implement that. There's more people out there than just English speakers, hey. Is ACE for software developers or any end users? I mean, ACE is for people who want to use AI to build things like workflows, coding. I'm gonna put it in two buckets, workflows and coding. Because, you know, I've got an ACE to write scripts for me, for example. So that's not really coding. But in the name, it does say ACE, Agentic Coding Environment. So yeah. Right now, it only supports Claude, Codex, and Gemini, but I've got plans to integrate additional models. For example, being able to integrate your local model, being able to integrate, additional models. Hey, I am tired. I don't want to speak English anymore. Alright, Simbo, bro. I'm gonna set up an agent that every time you send something in the chat, it's just gonna auto-translate it to me. Alright, bet. Yeah, it's a dev team. That's what you would tell your agent though for implementation of supporting multi-languages. Emilio, what's up, brother? I saw you sent me a bunch of feedback for the app. Thank you. Appreciate it, bro. I am doing a rare weekend live stream. Just thought I gotta lock in, man. The app ain't gonna build itself. I love this song. Just hits. I mean, it's weekend for me. For you guys, it's what? Friday night? What was the mobile optimization? Confirm logo is back up and serving the merge result. All set. Let's merge to dev and then to main site live. Let me just double check, because I want to make sure that this isn't breaking the website from a PC standpoint. No, it looks good. Everything is looking perfectly fine. Okay, cool. Dope. Nice. All right. Dope. Sick. Run it. Of course it is. Can you integrate Claude Code, not Opus? So for coding tasks, it uses Claude Code, maybe with their CLI or something? Wait, what? Dude, you know Opus 4.8 is used for coding, right? Like we are grabbing Opus from the CLI. Claude Code is just, like Opus 4.8 is the model, which can do everything. Claude Code is just one of the many features that it can do. So you can use Claude to code, or you can use Claude to write a script. So what you'll see a lot of people doing is they'll, inside of the terminal, give Claude access to a folder, and then you can set up a workflow with Obsidian where Claude is now able to write scripts for you through the terminal. So Claude isn't actually like Claude Code isn't like this its own thing. You know what I mean? Like Claude Code is, technically Claude Code is just the app. So I guess your answer, the question to your answer is yes, it does. The app uses Claude Code. But yeah, I mean, right now the main feature of the app is the fact that you can build out a team. You know, you can literally say, I want to build a Pomodoro timer. I mean, you're naming your project here, right? But you'd probably just say Pomodoro timer, continue. Then here you say, I want to build a Pomodoro timer that rings a bell every time, and it's a Mac app, and I can just use it, and it gets pinned almost like a widget to the top right of the page. And then based off of that, the AI is now going to scan that question, and it's going to come up with questions and answers to help understand and clarify the question, so the final output is better. Because essentially it's trying to one-shot your app. So what should the timer show while it's running? Just the countdown. And I've already built a Pomodoro timer, but I've honestly run out of ideas for apps to build, so this is just what I'm doing. So it asks you questions. What works and breaks lengths do you want? So classic 25, 5-minute, 50-minute, 10-minute, or I want to set my own lengths. I think I'd want to set my own. What does a great version look like to you? I open it and it just works. Like, I know I'd prefer that. What does a finished great result look like? Okay, so here, again, there's something I can fix here where it's kind of asked the same thing twice. So let me just copy that. Ready to use right away. And boom, nothing's left. Continue. I pick my team size. We can go with 3. Go 1 off. Continue. And now it's actually going to build out the team, and it creates this system prompt based off of the answers to your questions and your mission. So now each agent, for example, this is the Codex. You are the build agent. And if you don't want Codex, you can always choose like Claude if you want. You can regenerate the prompt. This is the research agent. I haven't really been loving Gemini, so I swap it out. But this is the plan agent. And now it actually creates this team for you. Which model asks the question? So it's got a hierarchy of Codex for Claude, what's it called? ChatGPT first, because it's got the fastest model. Then it's Gemini, then it's Claude. And it just uses whatever the user's connected. So if the user has all 3 connected, it uses ChatGPT. If the user only has Gemini connected, it just uses Gemini. It picks based on what the user's connected. But let me just add this in real quick. In step 2 of the onboarding, I got asked the same question twice. Can we look into why this might have happened and make sure it doesn't happen again? And then, yeah, you literally create project, and now it's going to build a team. Whoa, that's a big command. What happened? Main to Pomodoro timer rejected. Oh, I know why. Because I've already built a repo called Pomodoro timer. Could you verify that this, what this error is for? I have a hunch that the error is due to me already calling something a Pomodoro timer. So it wasn't able to create the repo because there is already a repo called Pomodoro timer. That is my theory. But look into why this error popped up and help me understand what's going on. And the other thing I've noticed is even when there isn't an error, the big red mark makes it feel like an error. Like it's like, yo, shit, maybe. Same question as Aril. Let me check. Is cursor better than anti-gravity? Sorry for leaving you hanging there, Aril. Also, I've heard there's issues with security when vibe coding. How can I get into all these technicalities? Also things like a local website storage for user data, etc. I mean, it depends, right? Like if you attach, for example, Supabase into your app, depending on how you connect it, Supabase now handles the security for your database. And depending, all that you can really control is your keys, because Supabase already has its own security and its own cryptographic like coding and everything. So like Supabase handles the security. For example, Stripe handles the payment security, handles the user information. The only way that someone can actually tap into that is if you leak your keys or have something in the front end like that. And so you just got to avoid making those errors. Damn, I can see these changes are not me. I think this is Vince. I gave him access to the repo. He's doing God's work right now. Okay, appreciate that. The idea looks great. Hope you the best. Thanks, Maha. Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate you asking questions, man. Helps me think of the app in a new light, in a way that I haven't thought about it before. But yeah, if you want to check out Ace, there's a link in the description. Currently doing a 30% off for life deal right now. This is the only time I'm ever going to do this deal. So check it out if you haven't been before. So let's look at why that happened. And there is also a production channel project name, Pomodoro Time, both normalized toward the same GitHub repo style name. Okay, so it is repo endpoint. Let me look at the screenshot. Command failed git push u origin main to GitHub. We failed to push some refs to updates were rejected because the remote contains work that you do hint not have locally. This is usually caused by another repository pushing hint to the same ref. You may want to first integrate the remote changes hint git pull before pushing again. Okay, so it basically couldn't create another project with the same name. The release also carried reviewed dev work beyond the website, Windows path process hardening, JMart, and 528 doc unification, and published a new production desktop runtime, all green, all previously reviewed. The deliberately held back auto repair feature was confirmed not in the diff. Mobile optimization is done in live. If you want, I can spot check the live mobile view phone with, but the live code is byte identical to what I verified on localhost. All right, let's see. New update is live. Give it a refresh. I paid without the reduction, but it's fine because I support you. Yo, Emilio, hey bro, I totally understand if you want to cancel and rebuy, I will give you a refund. There were 3 people that bought before I did the big 30% off discount. So hey, if you want to cancel your subscription and then repurchase, I will give you a full refund of your previous purchase for those 3 people that bought. So Emilio, let me know. Totally understand if you want to do that. It's a pretty good discount, man. And man, the annual plan makes it so cheap. $577 a month? Like, dude, what subscription out there is $577 a month right now? Like, it was already cheap as is with the annual plan, but because of the 30% off discount, it makes it like hella cheap. Anyway, I'll stop selling. I'll stop being a salesperson and start doing some work, man. Start actually putting in the work. Yo, this is looking way cleaner. Let's go. Nice, man. I wonder if I would have locked in more sales if I had the mobile optimization set up from the start. Jeez, I probably missed out a little bit there. It's all right. We move. Get rid of this. All right. Cool. Verify Pomodoro. Okay. Your hunch is mostly right, but the precise failure is the local ACE project was created, then the GitHub backup push failed because already has a main branch. Failed with... So repo creation itself did not fail. The green toast means ACE created the local project. The red toast came from automatic setup. Okay. UX bug in ACE. The normal push path maps this to refresh from GitHub first, then push again. But the GitHub setup path surfaces the raw Git error from... Best next step depends on intent. If you want to separate a new project, well, the user might set up a project and it could be very similar. Like, let's say they have a script writer project, but then they want to create another script writer project. So they just write script writer again. Actually, I can't see anyone falling into this issue because the chances are they're not going to have two of the same name of projects. Let's see. Can I name this again? Infinite Runner. Can I name a project Infinite Runner again? Let me see. Infinite Runner. I can. Okay. So maybe... Can we make it so that if a user accidentally renames their project... Actually... Can we make it that at the very start when you press new project and you name it, the user cannot use a name that already exists in their app? For example, if Pomodoro timer already existed as a project, then chances are that it's not going to work because there's going to be a duplicate, right? So I think what we should do is block that from the start where user can't rename their project what a name that's already been used inside the app. Need a global error handler. That sounds like something I need. It is nice to have an internal error agent. If anything fails, it gets the error as context and creates a user-friendly error message and presents this transformed error to users. That is very nice. So that's assuming what a global error handler is. Okay. I'm noticing that sometimes when an error pops up, it can look really messy and gross. For example, I just tried to create a project which was already like the name was already existent. So GitHub sent back this really long string message of what the error was, and it popped up on the app as like this big red box, and it didn't look very nice. And so I'm wondering, could we create a global error handler where if anything fails, an internal error agent gets the error as context and creates a user-friendly error message and presents this transformed error to the users. That way it's more kind of user-friendly and less kind of scary, right? Thanks, that's a good prompt. Can you go into your param just to see if it's written connected or if it said install and connect? I'm pretty sure mine's already connected. It takes a second to load. I've noticed I've got 2 Git and GitHub CLI. Installed and ready, repo management and clone support. It's probably worth understanding what the difference between these two are. I remember I did a big push on GitHub specifically, and I think that is what it is. Let me retake that screenshot. Want to understand what the difference between these two are and if it can be merged or not. Git is what runs GitHub, but what about GitHub CLI? Oh shit. Whoops. Bro, it's strange because none of my models are connected and I still have different question. What do you mean? Are you talking about step 2 when you're like building the team? Usually, so I've got like some fallback questions that come up if none of the models are working. And it'll just ask you questions that are kind of just like quite standard. Like, you know, what are your recommendations? Do you want it speed? Do you want it customer facing? It asks you those questions as like a fallback if none of the AI models are connected. Yo, Jmart improving the Windows app. I see you, bro. Okay. Fallback should be that. Yeah, cool. Yeah, fallback's like just these questions that come up if nothing's connected. I think one of the biggest challenges I'm facing right now is like for Ace, that's CLI for GitHub. GitHub is cloud storage for Git repos. Ah, okay, cool. Noted. So maybe they are separate. The biggest challenge that I'm seeing is like this tool is meant to be super user friendly, right? It's meant to be like used by people who have potentially never coded in their lives. So one of the biggest challenges that I'm seeing is in order to connect your tools at the very start, that onboarding screen that pops up. This one? Oh wait, wrong one. Tool setup guide. This screen. That's funny. That animation is not meant to be doing that. That's kind of funny. It looks like a pendulum swing. It kind of works though. See this section right here, like if GitHub were not installed or Codex, it would be like run this inside of your CLI or run this inside of your terminal. It's almost like a non-technical person wouldn't have been able to do that. Did you give my feedback to JMark? Not yet, actually. I should definitely be doing that. Yo, JMark, I got some feedback for you, brother. Emilio used the school app. Oh, sure. I mean, some of this isn't just for Windows. Some of it is actually universal. Pre-embedding GitHub is a good point. So like people reinstall it when they install the app. Very good point. True. GitHub CLI says installed on a Mac. You just click on it to cut the link. So that should work. I've noticed the click is pretty precise though. So if you're not like clicking it properly, like this is quite precise. When there's a handoff, it's all right, but you kind of got to click on it. And you can just Control Z as well. But yeah, this is pretty precise. Maybe I could make this like area bigger for clicking. It doesn't work for you at all. Maybe that's a Windows bug. I teach elders how to use computers once a week. I was surprised that for them, a window supposed to help them was in fact scary to them. Like if they made a mistake. Interesting. It's interesting. Is that like your main job or is that just something you do on the side? Also guys, check out Ace if you haven't already. We are currently doing a crazy 30% off for life deal to celebrate the launch. So if that's something you're interested in, check it out. Literally 30% off for life. You're never gonna pay full price. Use code DOOBY at checkout. Buildwithace.ai is the URL, link in description. You can connect multiple AI agents together and build out cool things. It's really, really handy. I recently just launched the launch video on YouTube, so check that if you haven't already. But yeah, probably gonna wrap the stream up here. I didn't really want to do too big of a stream today. Just wanted to pop in, say hi, give you guys an update. Jmart's saying, okay, I'll check him. I'm setting up pipeline to auto detect if something is a breaking Windows change. That's cool, man. I gotta learn from you, man. I feel like I could do that. I feel like I could learn a lot from you, man. Maybe we've got to do a little session together. But yeah, probably going to end it here, guys. Thanks for joining. I just wanted to kind of come in and give a little update on Ace, how the launch went. It's my birthday tomorrow, so I'm going to chill out for a bit. And yeah, hope you guys loving the app. Please give me feedback. Please give me feedback. The more feedback, the better. I can make the app and hopefully we can take over the world, the developer world. A non-technical person taking over the developer world. Imagine that. Imagine that. People wouldn't see it coming, man. They'd be like, damn, this guy doesn't even know what GitHub is and he's out here making apps that we're all using. Can you support conditional agents? That's a great question as well. Like you build a network of agents, one of them is conditional. We can set rules whether it triggers. So not all agents forced to work. So we're actually part of the harness that I'm developing is, things can sometimes break when you're using the app, right? So you can build out a team and you can say, hey, I want to build a website. And then the team goes out and build it. And then there might be like something that might break along the way. For example, it builds a website, but it just doesn't tell you where it's hosted locally or whatever, right? So you want to kind of quickly prompt it and be like, hey, where's that website located? Or hey, like, I don't actually like this or this. I'm trying to figure out how that can be supported. And I think part of the harness would be looking at the prompt that's been sent and identifying, okay, this prompt doesn't require the entire team. It just requires these 2 agents. That's part of the harness that I'm trying to explore. Because yeah, I've totally faced that problem before where the whole team has gone to work on something and then I just want to quickly prompt it and be like, yo, what about this? And now the whole team has to go through everything again. And so if the agent is able, the harness is able to understand like, okay, cool, we can just send this to the build agent. That would be a huge improvement. So yeah, good point, Maha. I completely agree with you. But anyway, I'm gonna leave it here, guys. I'll catch you all later. Thanks for joining me today on the weekend in your free time. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you not tomorrow because it's my birthday, but I'll see you on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We're going to be pumping out live streams because we're going to be pumping out improvements and updates for Ace. But yeah, peace out, guys. I hope you enjoy your weekend and bye. Keep hustling.